Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And we're here on a road because we are planning a very big trip. And you guys, I want to share with you something that shocked me. The shock of my life here in Botswana, in an African country. Okay? So we are going on a big trip that needs us to have four-wheeler. So we don't have a four-wheeler in our house. So we wanted to rent a car. And as we want to rent a car, I called a rental. And I said, hey guys, we want to rent a four-wheeler. We want to know how much it is. Guess how much it is. Guess. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 second to guess. You are probably wrong. They say $350 a day. That's in Botswana. That's in Africa. I was shocked. Okay, because as Africans, we like to talk about how we cannot afford a lot of things and how everything is so exploitive. And to see us being this exploitive, I was shocked. I was like, heck no, I'm not paying $350 a day to go on a rental. And it made me see why as Africans we are so poor. There's no, like, I was shocked. I mean, let me know in the comments for $350. That's not even including insurance for the car. And that's how much it costs. $350 more. And even now, I'm still shocked. But we're still going on our trip. We had some loopholes that we found on the car. But I was just beyond, not only shocked, but beyond, because it's way more than in America. Because so this is the funny story. When we were doing this trip, right? I said to my husband asked me, so how much do you think it's going to cost? And I said, I think yeah. And I said, I think actually it's going to cost us it's just me telling my husband. I said, I think the most, because I asked him, how much would it cost us to rent in America, right? And my husband said, I think it's going to be usually in America it's going to be like $150 a day. And I think sometimes things can be expensive, so I assumed it's going to be the same price. So I think let's just budget for like $160. And then I called the guy because I was like, okay, let's budget for $160. And the guy says $350 a day. And then who's gonna redeem us? Today we are outside because it's finally starting to get warm. And I'm here with my husband. And let me tell you the background because I want to hear what he thinks. So I told you yesterday, guys, that I was shocked on the price of the rental of that car I think it was a private rental. I'm still gonna look at the private rentals. And I told my husband, I said, what is your thoughts? Because I'm just amazed on how here in Botswana and in a lot of African countries, because you've also traveled to Malawi and stuff, that the country people, like people of Botswana, do not benefit from these things. Like, if I'm poor in Botswana, that means that I should forget about any trip to go anywhere, because that means that I cannot afford it. And America is not built like that. So I want to give the camera to my hubby, who's going to be explaining to you what America does to help its own people. So as I was saying, in America, people of America are benefiting. But here, it doesn't look like that because no one can afford a rental place. So if we don't have a 4x4, forget. And I want my husband to explain. So what do you think about the amount of stuff that a normal person here cannot afford, especially off rentals and stuff?
Well, I think it's really sad. I mean, we can't even afford to spend $350 a day for a rental car. So how could a local do that? I don't understand the economics associated with it, but definitely in America, there's a lot of rental cars available. They even stick them in neighborhoods. It's not only do they have the rental cars available at the airport, but also throughout the neighborhoods as well. And people know that they can get a rental car. I have a feeling there's just so few rental cars here in Malawi. It's just not feasible for people to to be able to rent them. So I would imagine it's a supply and demand thing. When I was interested in renting a car in Malawi, I was told there was one rental car agency at that time, and he only had about 10 to 20 cars, if he even had that. And so it's just something where either the people aren't educated that they can get a rental car, or I just think there's just not enough rental cars to make it feasible for the average person to afford a car.
So how about the cost of things here? Because I wanted to explain to them. I want to ask him from an American point of view, because me, I'm already here. I know how things work, and I think things have gotten worse after COVID. Okay. So how would you explain the inflation here and how things are costing and stuff?
Well, I know the cost of our building materials for the house has gone up. Now, I will say this. I did a pretty big grocery haul today, and the food is still a little bit, especially the meat is a lot cheaper.
Yes, meat is cheaper here, yes.
And I would say the other items like potato chips, ketchup, milk is probably either the same as America or slightly less. But it's hard for the local to buy stuff like that.
Yes.
Just because they don't make that kind of money.
Yeah, so...
But I would say anything that's labor related is definitely going to be cheaper here than in America.
Exactly.
Because it's the labor is a lot less here. But stuff that's being imported is the same or more expensive here.
Okay. And yeah, that's actually very, very true, because that's actually very, very true. But one thing that I really was shocked about was that price of rental. So, okay, we have visited 2 countries, and we are planning on visiting like more countries, but due to a lot of things that unforeseeable circumstances, we have decided to really push back our travels and stuff. Like, we underestimated just how things will go, but it's a learning process. But based on what you have learned in the African stuff, because I told my husband that America makes things easy. Like, a lot of things are very easy, affordable. I want to say affordable, like, even though, yes, Americans will say things are expensive, because they, as they always say, the grass is not greener on the other side. But when you are there in America, you just will not know how much blessed you are. Although also here, I believe that we are way beyond blessed, because even though we are like this, it doesn't go back to where we become homeless. That's one thing that I give to our African country, or even my country, Botswana. No matter how expensive things are, it is impossible for me to be homeless, because my mom has a home and has a land. My grandmother has land. Like, no matter what, I'll never be homeless. However, though, saying that, the things of, it's like the things that people could enjoy, like tourism, I'll say that it's not geared a lot toward our people, like Botswana people. So how would you explain that? Let's say, for example, we have the best safari in the world. Like, Botswana is one of the best safari. If you have watched the movie The Gods Might Be Crazy, you know the Botswana tourism, the South African tourism and stuff. But it looks like tourism is not for us. It looks like tourism is more for the West. While in America, tourism is for all. Like, for example, if right now I wake up and I say, okay, I want to go to, what is that place? Not Yosemite. What is it called?
Yosemite,
Yellowstone.
or
I can
Clear Lake,
easily go
or
there,
whatever. Yeah.
and I can afford it. Yeah. So how would you explain that for tourism to be hard for the locals here in Africa?
Yeah, I don't fully understand. First of all, I'm disgusted that someone is going to charge us $350 for a four-wheel drive. That's ridiculous. Now, a couple thoughts. I like the entrepreneurial spirit of the people of Africa.
Exactly.
Of Botswana. I think, and obviously there's an opportunity for someone to open up a rental car agency when someone is charging $350 for a four-wheel drive.
Hey, mommy's working and daddy. Mommy and daddy are talking. How about you drive? He's jealous because we are talking. He's like, someone, please give me some time. Can mommy and daddy talk? Can mommy and daddy talk? Yeah, okay. There's an entrepreneurial spirit.
there's an entrepreneurial spirit, and obviously there's a opportunity when someone's charging $350 for a rental car. But the barrier of entry is so high for most Motswana that most Motswana cannot Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana is plural, Motswana is one.
Can't afford to buy a Range Rover or Land Cruiser to rent it out.
Yeah.
So that would have to come from other people, or people get together, pool their money to do that. But another thought I have, I'm disgusted about, for whatever reason, the tourism, like what you said, is not available for a lot of locals. We'll say this. Okay. You remember when we were going to get married, and I had actually booked a honeymoon for us at a
hotel.
very fancy hotel in downtown Habaroni, and it was only going. I booked it. I reserved it for like $11 a night. So it looked like that was something that could be available for a lot of locals. Well, 2 years ago, we actually stayed in that hotel, and I had to pay $180 a night. So I don't know what happened from the time where it was brand new and it was only $11 a night versus $180 a night, and it wasn't brand new anymore. I don't know what happened there, and I don't know. For whatever reason, obviously, a lot of locals aren't going to pay $180 a night to stay at a nice hotel in downtown Habaroni. And so I just don't know. I don't know the economics right now. Why so few people can get a rental car. Now, I remember when we suggested getting the rental car, it didn't cross your brother's mind. It didn't cross a lot of people's minds, like, oh, you can rent a car. Obviously, they knew you could rent a car, but it just didn't even cross their mind because it's not part of the culture here at this time for whatever reason. Now, in America, I hear that I see business opportunities where actually people buy four-wheel drives like an Airbnb and they rent it out and they're making good money off of that. So that's an entrepreneurial opportunity that a lot of people have latched on to in America, just like the whole Airbnb, where if you have a second home and you want to rent it out for a few nights, you can do that and make some extra money. So obviously that's an opportunity in a lot of countries that they're capitalizing in America right now, and hopefully that will filter over to other countries as well. Yeah, definitely. Now, when we went to Malawi, I looked into renting a car there, and it was about the same price as America, or a little more, but it wasn't 3.5 times. Like two to three times more. I mean, I think that's highway robbery.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
And that's not even insurance. That's just a base rate.
I know.
I mean, a base rate in America for a rental car is like $30-$40. Then they charge you more for insurance. And then if you want an exclusive car, then you're talking about over $100 or $150.
Yes. Yeah, that, as my husband has said, this is a very good big. I mean, if you want to invest here, I'm giving you a business idea.
Well, that was the first thing off your mind. Was like, I'm going to start buying cars.
I said that. For me, I will not rip. I mean, that's completely rip off. And it gave me a business idea, like opening a rental car and just charging the right amount so people can go and having that thing. Like, tourism is a fun thing. Having to go to a safari, people want to go there. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Now, your sister-in-law was saying that there are buses that go to Kasane, but we were planning on going to Kutsi. There's only one way to Kutsi, and that's through a four-wheel drive. So maybe there are places where it is more feasible for the locals to go to if they're going to take a bus. But the one that we wanted to go to, you had to have a four-wheel drive.
Let me say this though. Other places, like the main ones, like that have the airport, like the Kasane and other places, it's already established that it has other stuff. But other places, you need a four-wheel drive. But to make a four-wheel drive that ridiculously expensive was kind of ridiculous. That gave me a business idea. And If wishes or horses, I was telling my husband, I said, you know what, honey? I could open if you are rich, I'm giving you a business idea to invest in Botswana. You can contact me. I'll own it with you, and you bring the money. Yeah, that would be a very good business opportunity, and I'll not rip people off. Like, you have to have a price, and coming here has given me a lot of opportunities. I see some businesses really ripping off, and I feel like it's not fair. I feel like we should target our own people. We are the ones that always cry saying that we are poor, like we don't have this. And I feel like we should be looking up for each other. Let me tell you this. An American will easily afford $350 a day for a car. When I say an American, I mean an American that comes for tourism. But guess what? It's usually the richest people. So should we make tourism for the rich people, or should we also make it available for us? So I was telling my husband, I said, I want to open a business to where actually it can be more affordable to a normal person. And that's kind of, you see these children, they're messing up with these dogs. So, yeah, so as a result, after all that rent, our trip is aborted for now. We had someone that's going to take us with a 4-wheel drive, but they bailed out at the last minute, and we cannot go with our small car because it's not a 4-wheeler. And if we ever want to come to Botswana or you want to buy a car, start with a 4-wheeler. That's one that I can tell you. It's a very big investment, but guess how much 4-wheelers cost? Hey, I was telling my husband, I said, we need to work hard. If we need to go and work at a restaurant, an extra job, just saving for this. I was telling my husband that we need to work hard to do that. I mean, not to open the business, but to own a 4-wheeler. You need a 4-wheeler. Like, our trip to a safari has really failed. Because of that, our house, the architect made some mistakes that made us pay more. So the plans that we planned for the safari had to go to the house, and we have to think for another day. And what a disappointment! But if the rental car was cheaper, maybe we would have done that. But for now, that's what's going on. So let me know if you are in Africa, especially, how it's like in a country. Is it easier for the locals, or is it more feasible for the West? And it made me sad because I thought to myself, I'm starting to see, because when you are in Africa, a lot of times you just see that you're poor. You don't see why you're poor. And then when you go to the West and then you come back home, you start to see how it's going to be hard for us to be rich, or for us to take us out of poverty, especially with this kind of exploitive mind from our own people, because the people that are called us the own people, it's actually cheaper to buy or to rent stuff from the foreign investors. Because my cousin was telling me about all these things, and now we're looking into going into other places, because at this point we cannot rent a 4-wheeler. And by the way, if you're watching this video and you have a 4-wheeler and you want to take me, let me know. And you want to borrow me your 4-wheeler. 4-wheeler, by the way, I mean 4x4, a car that is able to go on the sand, because some places you need a 4-wheeler, and pretty much everywhere you need a 4-wheeler. And it's a sad, and it has made my husband see, and I see, that we need a 4-wheeler. Honey, we need to go and work hard for our own 4-wheeler, okay? Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
No, but other than that, I mean, we've had a wonderful time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm now looking at possibly going to Kasane, but I don't know if our kids are ready for that.
Yeah.
We might have to wait a year or two,
yeah,
or a few years for that.
Yeah. But for Kasane, though, they have other stuff. Oh, he's sleeping. Oh, that's why he's crying. Yeah, hold him like that, please. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
But I'll have to get a little more information on that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll still go to Kasane, but this is, oh, by the way, I'm wearing the shirt from yesterday. We don't have water, so I always have to wear something for a minimum of 2 times. We don't have water. in my village. So we have to buy water and it's expensive. So we try to save on the water. I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday because I wait for it to be a lot dirty. It's not America or other places. So yeah, otherwise I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a sit down video, but I wanted to explain to you how hard it can be.
Or get other people's insights who live here.
Yeah, I want to get other people's insight. Maybe we have only gone to a little place and maybe you are in Botswana and you have a cheaper rental of 4x4s that could at least be 1,000 pula a day or 1,500 a day, but 3,500 a day was ridiculous. That was not even counting insurance, guys. I was shocked. And I found them on the internet too. It's not like it was like all that. So okay, you can go and put him on his belly. I'm coming. I will sleep on his belly. He may need a breast, but yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. But otherwise, we're having a good time. But we're not sure yet as if the safari trip will go. The safari trip is extremely expensive. And in America, guys, let me tell you about America before I go. In America, let me tell you, is that every place is pretty much paved, right? You don't need much of a four-wheeler, but some people have four-wheelers in places like Oregon, right? And in America, to go to a place, you can go pretty much with any car that you have, so you don't need a four-wheeler. Like, even if we needed a four-wheeler, you can still afford it as a rental. And not only that, to get into, here's the thing though, when you are already at the destination, it's cheap. I want to make sure that you guys understand that. It's getting to the destination that is a problem. America does not make it like that. America makes it easier for you to get to the destination. And as a result, it boosts their tourism stuff. Like right now, my husband and I, we are planning on America to go into all national parks. That is because it's cheap. The hotels are cheaper in America than in Botswana. I'm telling you, the hotels are cheaper in America than in Botswana. And you think otherwise, like, Botswana, it's for me, it has shocked me. Like, coming from America, I've learned a lot, and it's about time business people really, for us to boost our economy, is going to need us. It's going to need investors, yes, from all foreign countries, but it's going to need us. Just like America is boosted by the Americans. Like, I'm shocked. Like, that's why I'm shocked. So we're planning on going to all national parks in America, but we can afford it because it's easy. I mean, it's not going to be most expensive. It's going to be expensive, yes, but it's doable. Here, forget. But if you can get your hands on a four-wheeler, you have the fun of your time. So that's one thing that my husband and I are looking into. If we can get a four-wheeler, that'll be the best thing ever. Because the roads, I mean, look. I mean, this one does not need a four-wheeler, but we need a four-wheeler. We need a four-wheeler. Four-wheeler is a must. And that's the reality. So I'm giving you a business idea if you have a business idea. Invest in a rental car. Don't rip people off. And do it the way, maybe the minimum was 3,500. Maybe there are things that they're looking into that I don't know about, but I don't know. But maybe there are things that they're risking. I don't know. But for them to say that, that's ridiculous in my opinion. In my opinion, it's ridiculous. That's like buying every new four-wheeler every 6 months or every 7 months. I mean, or at least a year. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's not how business works. But I bet they have a big business because, tourists, they'll still come. So that's the reality. So this our car is definitely not a four-wheeler. As you see it, it's not a four-wheeler. And when it gets to where it's crazy, it does not work. So, but we're enjoying it. So I wanted to show you guys how our car looks like.